Their profits went up in smoke after embracing the moronic woke. But now, a number of Super Bowl commercials will reportedly avoid woke nonsense in an effort to sell their product, or at the very least, to keep Kid Rock from shooting it. Turns out left-wing hectoring in ads only further alienated consumers already impacted by Biden's economy. People don't need to be called oppressors when they can't afford eggs. So instead, this year's brands are expected to lean into humor and non-controversial celebrities, as opposed to unfunny, hectoring lefties. Guess it's not your year, Kathy Griffin. Meanwhile, Trump is extending an olive branch to Bud Light, posting on Truth Social, quote, "The Bud Light ad was a mistake of epic proportions, and for that, a very big price was paid. Anheuser-Busch is a great American brand that perhaps deserves a second chance." And even trans Republican Caitlyn Jenner joined Trump in urging Republicans to move forward from their boycott. And that takes balls. But it's a fair question. Does Bud deserve a second chance? Look, I'm a fan of second chances. I didn't fire my pool boy the first time he rejected my advances. Put that in the clip reel. But as Tyrus pointed out, Bud didn't just lose business, they also fired 350 employees in the aftermath of the Mulvaney debacle. And there was a worse outcome for Bud's once prized Clydesdale horses. Yeah. Bad news for the horses, but great for the Post-it notes business.
Yeah. That really happened.
That did happen. They sent him away. All right, Tyrus. So on the one hand, you're very passionate about Bud in the fact that they should rehire the people they fired.
Yeah, do that first before you cut the checks.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I'm all for second, third chances in some cases. Mm-hmm. If you show a change in behavior and you own your mm-hmm. Giving good young comedians endorsements is great, but that's not the problem. Mm-hmm. 350 Americans who showed up to work every day, bust their ass, were out of work. Mm-hmm. That's what, 2 celebrity checks? Yeah. Get those people. America, we messed up. We're bringing our forces back, and we're going to weather this storm. We'll respect that. Giving, like I said, being a part of UFC and NFL, that is great. But the only way you stand up to this woke behavior is by changing behavior and saying, we're not accepting this anymore, and we're going to fix the wrongs. A lot of people were canceled, and a lot of people didn't have the resources to come back. So, in effect, the Dylan Mulvaney woman face thing canceled 350 hardworking Americans that don't have the ability to go on social media or TV talk shows to get their careers back. So fix that, Bud Light, and I will be the first one to go out and buy a bug keg at my house, and I'll have a keg party. Split, all right, I will be the first one. But how about you invest in those 350 workers, then talk about redemption. But just moving on and throwing money at people who already have it don't mean to me personally.
Kat, on the one hand, I'm happy because I get the feeling that wokeism is dead. But on the other hand, what will we talk about?
Yeah.
This has been my bread and butter for 10 years.
If you would have told me that I'd spend this much time of my adult life sitting around talking about Bud Light, like as part of my job, I'd been like, no way. Yeah, I think that what you said really is at the heart of it, is that people want to chill. They don't want to sit there and be told, least of all by people who are presumably doing better than they are financially, that they need to feel bad about the way they're living. Mm-hmm. People want to watch sports, and I was a football fan for 1 week between the Lions winning and then the Lions losing, okay. And I experienced a lot of joy in that week. Yes. It's supposed to be an escape from everything else. People just want to have fun. And again, for me, I've not boycotted. I mean, Bud Light, I don't drink, but I just don't really have time to drink, so I haven't really been drinking. But I think that it became, people didn't want to be asked questions about why you're drinking that, why you're drinking that, and it became this lightning rod of a thing. So I think they'd have to overcome that in order for something to happen.
Yeah, hey, is that Bud Light? What's wrong with you? That's what they got. That's what they got to deal with. I think a lot of lessons were learned, Aaron. I mean, the one thing that they did is they listened to activists and influencers on social media who don't even buy their product. It was like an illusion or they're listening to people with delusions, which created the illusion.
Yeah, they took bad advice from people who aren't their target demographic here. And even if they were trying to expand to more people, You don't have to spend $7 million in 30 seconds to have people hate your brand. You could do that in one tweet in 2 seconds and destroy your brand. They have chosen to put money behind a message that they were trying to sell in relation to a product that didn't match.
Yeah.
That's what upset people, and it costs jobs. It costs 30% of their market share. It's going to take a lot for them to come back. And yes, I love the Clydesdales commercials, love a commercial with a puppy in it. You got me sold. I'm in on these commercials. But that's not going to change what happened, how they got here, and the total market loss that they've sustained. Because when you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, and that's what happened with them. They didn't listen. They were inauthentic to their brand, and when you do that is when you're going to get in the most trouble as a brand.
Jeff, are you a little dismayed that Bud hadn't come to you to be their new spokesman?
I have thought about that. Like Shane Gillis got a
Dr.
Bud
Bud.
Light deal, and I was like, good for him. But the second old Jeff gets sober, now alcohol companies are throwing money out. If there's a nice coffee company that would like to, I'm available. But I think Kat nailed it. I've been beating this drum for a long time that what I like about sports is that it's just sports, or what I like about companies is just companies. I don't want to hear from millionaire athletes trying to lecture everyone about history they didn't go through and slavery while they're dripping in Nike and blood diamonds when they're like, that's the most hypocritical. Also, the left or right, you would have to agree that no one cares about corporations pretending to care about these social issues.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
the grossest thing to get an email that's like, here at Wells Fargo, we stand with the Women's March. You're like, what? You're a bank.
Yeah.
Come down to Taco Bell, get Me Too tacos for 99 cents. Like, get out of here.
No, that drives me nuts.
Gross.
It's like, I know why you're doing this.
Me too, Taco.
I laughed. It just took him a solid.
It took a second.
It took a Biden right
was
there to
good.
get to
I'm
that.
on, yeah, I'm on. He's just kind of like Taco. Me too.
I still don't get it.
That explains the green room thing.
Yes. All right, we must move on. Up next, Gen Zers think it's fine to stay home drinking wine.
If you'll be in the New York area and would like tickets to see Gutfeld, go to foxnews.com/Gutfeld and click on the link to join our studio audience.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.